Hello students, today we will study poem 4 Chivi from class 7th Honeycomb book. Now you might be thinking, what is the meaning of Chivi? Dear students, Chivi means to nag. It means to continuously urge someone to do something, often in an annoying way. Now let's discuss about the poet. The poet of this poem is Michael Vane Rossin, who was born on 7th May 1946, and he is 74 years old. He was born in Harrow, United Kingdom. Michael Vane Rossin is the children's novelist and poet in the English language. He served as children's laureate, a political columnist. He also contributed for children's fiction and poetry. Now let's discuss the learning outcomes of this poem. This poem is introduced to develop interest of the students for the poem, to enable the students to understand the poem, to enrich the vocabulary of the students, and to appreciate poetry. Now let's recite the poem. Grown-ups say things like, speak up, don't talk with your mouth full, don't stare, don't point, don't pick up your nose. Sit up, say please, less noise, shut the door behind you, don't drag your feet, haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out of your pockets, pull your socks up, stand up straight, say thank you, don't interrupt, no one thinks you're funny, take your elbows off the table. Can't you make your own mind up about anything? Now let's see the introduction. Dear students, the poem Chivi is a catalogue of various do's and don'ts that the grown-ups dictate to young children. Means there are many things which our elder wants that we should do, and there are also many things which our elder want that we should not do. This poem tells us about that instructions only, which is usually given by the elders to their young children. The adults constantly give a list of instructions to the children about how to sit, how to talk, how to eat, and so on. The poem, however, indicates a passage of time when the young child has grown up and is incapable of taking a decision on his own. The same adults then blame the grown-up child for not being able to think independently. Means the elders always instruct their children to make them a superior one. But as a result, what happens? When the child grows up, the child becomes unable to take decision on his own. And after that, again, his elders blame him for not being able to think independently. Now let's see the explanation stanza-wise. Stanza 1. Grown-ups say things like, speak up, don't talk with your mouth full, don't stare, don't point, don't pick your nose. Here, the poet points out a series of instructions given by the grown-ups. The poem opens with a long list of instructions, In all likelihood, these instructions are being issued by the adults. To whom? To their young ones. Speak up, don't talk while your mouth is full of food, and so on are just a few examples. Here, stare means to look continuously at someone. Don't point. Here, point means we usually use our finger to tell something, to point out something. So, the parents or adults always refuse us to do so. And here, don't pick your nose is referring to the habit of children in which they always put their finger into their nostril to clean their nose. Now let's discuss stanza 2. Sit up. Say please, less noise. Shut the door behind you. Don't drag your feet. Haven't you got a hanky? Take your hands out of your pockets. The poet continues to put an emphasis, or he forces on how the young children are directed to act in accordance to the instructions issued by the adults. The poem continues with yet another set of instructions. Each and every activity of the young child is administered and put under the surveillance of the grown-ups. Here, administered means managed, and surveillance means close observation. Now let's see stanza 3. Pull your socks up, stand up straight, say thank you, don't interrupt, no one thinks you are funny, take your elbows off the table. Can't you make your own mind up about anything? Here, the poet showcases how the child still being reprimanded by the adult. Here, reprimanded means scolded for doing something wrong. Here, the poet says that the child is always getting scolding by his parents, though the child has grown up. The child has become big now, but still his parents shout at him, scold him when he is doing something wrong. The final couplet of the poem, that means the group of 2 lines at the end, shows that perhaps the young child has grown up. However, the adults around him continue to reprimand him, insult him for what he has done wrong. They shout angrily at him. But this time, for a different reason. The child is unable to decide anything for himself. He is not certain or sure about anything. It's quite ironical, as the entire childhood of this child was spent blindly following the instructions of his parents. He always followed what his parents told him to do. And now, when the child is grown up, when the child has become big, he is confused what to do, because he is afraid at every step that if he would do something, he would get scolding by his parents. In this way, the child is not able to decide anything, and then again his parents scold him. But this time, why the parents are scolding? Because they are not happy, as their child is not able to do anything independently. He is little bit nervous at all steps. So again the parents scold him. So, dear students, this poem is the mirror of your emotions. Your parents also instruct you all the time, and sometimes you also become irritated of listening the instructions. But this is my humble request to you that the parents are like coconut. They look hard outside, but they are very soft inside. They always want that you should have good habits. So if they instruct you to do something, you listen in one turn only. Don't give them chance to repeat the instruction. In this way, you both will have very good relationship. Hope you will follow what your parents instruct you. And here are some poetic devices also which you can find out, as I have already taught you some of the poetic devices. For example, if you see stanza 1, in the last 4 lines you see that the starting word is don't. So here, if the line is beginning with the same word, which poetic device is there? Anaphora, right? Likewise, if we see point and pick, here what is happening? Both the words are starting with the same consonant sound, that is p, point, right? So here the initial consonant sound is repeated. That's why here which poetic device is there? Alliteration, right? In this way, you please search out the poetic devices in this poem, and after watching the video, solve the worksheet which is given in the description box. You can see in the right side there is a small arrow facing downwards. Click that arrow and then you will see a link. Click the link and solve the worksheet. Thank you very much.